If you saw the video, we're going to talk about Fannie Mae's Homeownership Survey. I'm going to give you some perspective on that. A lot of things happening in our business, and I think it's a good perspective to have right now in where we're at. So excited to be on the deep dive. It's been a few weeks for me. Had some family travel and some things that we did last month, and so I missed being on the deep dive and excited to be back. But George and Kate and everybody and Shannon that did the deep dives done a phenomenal job. And I always say it's a great way to start the week, talking about what's most important in our business and getting things rolling. So as folks are joining, I'm going to follow along, but here's what I want you to do. As you're joining, let us know where you're watching from. We get people from all over the country that watch the deep dive and start their week this way. Let us know where you're at this morning, and we'll say hello and excited to see you. But we're going to talk about Fannie Mae's recent home ownership survey and getting that started. So let me hear where you're from. Jill, see you there. Great to have you on from Southern California. I know others joining from Southern California. We're going to jump into it in just a minute and get there. Rebecca, see you there in Lake Tahoe. Great to have you. Scott, good to see you in Destin. Scott, you sent me a message last week saying, hey, when are you going to be back on the deep dive? Well, here I am. I appreciate that message. It was great to talk to you and connect, and glad to do that. Violet, I see you there in Houston, and Dennis and Patricia. Great to have you on. Hey, do this. If you're thinking about somebody right now in our business that needs to be on the deep dive, tag them in here or share it with them, get the message out, because having the best information on these important topics, I'm going to argue, makes all of us better. We start every week at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on the deep dive, talking about these topics. So get people in here. Sheila, see you in there. Grateful for you, Michelle and Bob and Lori. Great to see everybody in there. Greg asking if that's a Kiowa shirt. It is, Greg. Love to play golf there. Love that area. So great to spend time there. So I'm going to hop in here in just a minute. I want to say one thing as we get started here. I want you to mark your calendar. I think everybody that's probably on the deep dive right now will be on next Monday, but we have a great deep dive plan for next Monday. I want you to mark your calendar for it, because I'll tell you this, you're not going to want to miss it. Okay, that's all I'm going to say right now, but definitely be here back next week. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. We've got a lot of folks on. Gail, see you there in Reno, and Tom in PA, just up the road from us here. So great to see folks. I'm going to share my screen, so give me just a minute here to do that. We're working with a new system on sharing, and so I need a minute to do that, but hopefully you can see my screen there. It says Fannie Mae Homeownership Survey. Let me know in the chat here if you can see that. If somebody can just give me a heads up and let me know that we're good there, that would be great. But we're going to talk about this Fannie Mae Homeownership Survey, and I think there's some good information right now for where we're at in our business that we can all use for perspective, for confidence, and ultimately how we guide our clients forward. So I see that. Thank you for that. Grateful for it. So let's break this down. I want to kind of hop in and break down what the survey said, and I'll start right here. Fannie Mae's National Housing Survey, the aspirations of home ownership. 73% said they believe buying a home has a lot of potential. 70% say buying a home is a safe investment, and we're going to talk about that. And 87% said they believe it's an important factor in the good life. This is so important right now, because all the things that we see going on in the world, and certainly we saw some good information come out on inflation last week. We want to see that. It's probably too early to say we're out of the woods by any stretch of the imagination, but being armed with perspective of how people feel about home ownership is extremely important, given everything that is going on in housing and in the world and the economy and that we face every day. And we've talked about these topics, in the past. We've talked about Gallup and their opinion on the best long-term investment. Oh, by the way, real estate being the best investment over the last 11 years. The Mind Survey, the Bank Rate Survey, all of those things to give you perspective of what people are saying. Because I think that perspective right now is important because, we can always turn on the news and see an article that says, the impact in the housing market hasn't even been felt yet, or what's to come based on some fabricated maybe headline. Maybe it's even factually correct, but tremendously misleading. And here's what I would say about our business right now. I pulled this quote from George Ratu, our chief economist. He used it in the monthly market report this month. If you haven't listened to that, I'd highly encourage you to go in and do it. But he used this Vince Lombardi quote that says this: "Confidence is contagious, but so is a lack of confidence." And I don't think there could be a truer statement spoken about our business right now. Walking into appointment, walking into the office, interfacing with people confidently is the difference maker. And we're going to talk about how you achieve and kind of grab onto that confidence with everything going on. Because I'm not going to deny that there are affordability challenges, things that are bearing down on our business. Our position is to help our clients make a confident decision. We always say here at Keeping Current Matters, we believe every family should feel confident when buying or selling a home. And that confidence starts with us. I believe that to my core, that if we're not confident, we can't help them make a confident decision. So let's hop back into the study. Fannie Mae's National Housing Survey. The benefits of homeownership, and this is sort of a high-level look at what's important to people in homeownership. And I'm going to point something out to you here. Each one of these pieces, I would argue, are not relative to the just strictly financial benefits of homeownership. They're non-financial benefits. Living in a place where your family feels safe, 88% of people said that. Living in a nicer home or a nicer place that you can customize and make your own, 84% of people. Living within your budget. Let's talk about budget. In an inflationary economy, what do you want to do with the largest expense? You want to lock that in. Rent's going up, we know that. But living within your budget is extremely important, and having less stress. Sort of right now, as we look at interest rates bouncing in the high 6s and 7s, and again, we saw a little bit of good information come out last week, and probably will have an effect on interest rates. Let's hope that. But too early to say we're out of the woods relative to that. And I even think consumers have gotten used to a higher interest rate. But as we look at the challenges of affordability, we have to be clear that a lot of the reasons that people buy and sell homes, start with non-financial reasons. Just this past week, my parents sold their home because they needed to. The house and what they had was getting too much to upkeep and take care of, and they're moving closer to my brother, and I'm excited for that. And a great agent helped them make that transaction possible on Friday. I'm so grateful for it. But it didn't have anything to do with the financial benefits. It had everything to do with the non-financial benefits, and so if we think about that, if we think about the other piece of living the good life, that's where we started off on this survey. What they said was number 6 of owning a home was a key to living the good life. And I think that's such an important point. If you even look here, and this is more than just housing. Number 1, being financially secure was an important factor, maybe the most important factor in living the good life. Well, what do we know is the largest wealth builder in this country? It's owning a home, right? And we've covered that extensively here at KCM. If you're a KCM member, you're armed and you have all that information at your disposal to be able to deliver that. But you see each one of these pieces: being in good health, living somewhere I want to be, having good work balance, having good friends. Owning a home was ahead of happier marriage. I got some questions about that, but no doubt owning a home critically important for living the good life. Another piece that was very interesting about this study: owning a home across Black, Hispanic, white populations, extremely important. Matter of fact, 60%, 59% there, we'll call that 60% of the general population say owning a home is very important. I think as we go through, certainly this year, we continue to battle headlines, we continue to battle affordability, we continue to battle inventory challenges. Having a perspective on the importance of owning a home is critically important for all of us. I think one of the other pieces is, what about an investment? In questions relative to affordability about the investment of buying a home. Well, here's what the survey had to say about that. Which is a safe investment with a lot of potential? By far, buying a home versus buying a stock or being in the stock market was, outpaced the stock market. And so, even in a volatile market, in a market like we see today, people still say buying a home is a safer investment with a lot of potential. Now, I mentioned before, you're going to have a housing cost. No matter what, you're going to have a housing cost. Why not, have that in something that you own versus something that you rent? And people said, you know what, that's a safer investment for me than the stock market. Building wealth, another big piece of this. If you look at year after year in the National Housing Survey, always people said, you know what, this is an important benefit of home ownership. It's important to us. We want to build wealth. We know wealth building in this country is done through home ownership predominantly. And I think remembering that even in some of the times where we look at it and go, hey, do people want to buy a home? Having that perspective is critically important. I'll wrap up with this and even certainly take some questions if they're out there. The top three in each category being lifestyle or non-financial and then financial benefits, who said it's better to own if you want to achieve non-financially, having control over where you live, having a sense of privacy and security, having a good place to raise a family, the financial aspects, having the best investment plan, being better off financially, or saving up for retirement and building wealth. Certainly that through homeownership, the equity that's built up, is there to maybe use for retirement, maybe to send a child to college, maybe to start a business, all the things that we know that are benefits from home ownership. If you break this down, I'll give you the complete list here of those that said it's better to own if you want to achieve. That's where those last few came from. You see right here, 6 out of 10 are lifestyle decisions, not financial decisions. Here's my message. To be confident in today's market, you've got to be confident in the reasons that people are buying. And oh, by the way, people still want to buy. The survey shows that. The survey shows that people are, excited about buying and anticipate buying, and we want to keep that in mind as, headlines come in and different things affect us in the business. And being versed in the non-financial reasons of home ownership, I think, is critically important right now. I want to give you something. We started off with the quote from Vince Lombardi about confidence and how it's contagious. I want to give you this, our agent scripts for confident conversations. If we believe every family should feel confident when buying and selling a home, that starts with us and starts with our confidence. You can go to trykcm.com/scripts and grab those scripts right there. Now, I think when I think about scripting, I think about this. Knowing what I'm going to say before I say it. Interacting in a conversation with somebody and being armed with how am I going to respond to the top objections, the top concerns, the top things that are important to them, and being well scripted and factually based in those conversations. So I want you to go in and grab that, trykcm.com/scripts. I'll pause for just a minute and just see if we have any questions that have come up.
Hi, Dave. I haven't seen any questions other than one from a member who asked if these scripts were available in the member area, and they are. They're actually available right on the monthly market report page, so members can find those there. And other than that, Dave, it just looks like people are very excited to have you back.
All right. Well, I'm excited to be back. It's great to be on the deep dive with you this morning. And maybe as we kind of take off from this Monday morning and start our week this way, here'd be my challenge right now. Take one of these graphics, one of these images, post it on social, get it out there, have a conversation with somebody about it so that we get the message out to the people that matter the most. Those are wondering, should I buy right now? Should I sell right now? What's happening in this market? And I think that will be the key to getting this message out. So hope you have a wonderful week. It's great to be back. Again, if you ever have questions, you know how to reach us. You know how to reach me. It's David at Keeping Current Matters. Happy to talk. Happy to see everybody and grateful for you joining the deep dive this morning. Take care.